reorganizational meeting to order. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the salute to the flag. Dear God, I want to thank you for this opportunity that we're able to get together again to conduct the business of the township. Please guide our hearts and our minds as we listen and engage in discussions concerning the township, and please give us the wisdom to make the right decisions. I ask all this in your precious name. Amen. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
So just for the, we have two meetings, but for the reorganizational meeting, is there any comments or anything from the visitors?
Before you make your appointments, I'd like to point out that you're responsible for the best use of our tax dollars, which means you should do your due diligence and make sure you appoint the person with the most qualifications. Every other position in this building has been posted for the public to apply for or voted on by the public. Even volunteer positions have been applied for and looked over by the supervisors to see who is best qualified. Why should the assistant secretary be any different? This is absolutely not an attack on the person currently in this position or Shannon, and unfortunately this has to be said because prior discussions about this subject. She definitely needs help, and she should also be afforded the best qualified person for the money, what money was allotted for this position, which very well may be the person that's currently in the position. I would urge you to look over this before blindly appointing someone to a position that has never had an option other than who was allowed to volunteer. When many others were denied repeatedly after being told at supervisors' meetings there was no way a volunteer could help due to confidential information being accessible to a volunteer. This was said 2 weeks prior to a volunteer being handpicked and allowed to volunteer for 2 weeks. At the following supervisors meeting, a position was created and a wage was assigned for the volunteer. I should also mention that this person is the supervisor's granddaughter. This does not reflect well on our township. As a solution to this happening again, and with our township being so deeply rooted in family that almost everyone in this room I'm probably related to in one way or another, I would like to suggest that you look into having a clear written policy with procedures for hiring and for volunteer opportunities to also include rules regarding nepotism within our township. This would help alleviate any future issues that may arise.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so I will appoint Shannon as our temporary chair and turn the meeting over to her.
Okay, the purpose of this portion of the meeting is to elect a permanent chairperson. I will now open the floor for nominations for a chairperson of the board. Are there any nominations?
I move to nominate Dana Baker as chairperson of the supervisors, Franklin Township. Second.
Okay. Oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah. So Dana has been nominated as chairperson of the board for a permanent position. The motion carries. Dana Baker is elected chairperson by a majority of the vote.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to vice chairman. Do we have any nominations for the vice chairman?
I'll move to appoint Scotty Wright. Scotty, would you like to be the vice chairman?
Yeah, we probably can.
I move to elect Scotty Wright as vice chairman.
Is there a second?
I think it's leading the meeting in the absence of the chair, and I think that Rod may be better to do that. I know we had this discussion last year.
Yeah, if he wants it.
I'm willing to do it if you nominate me, but
I nominate
I'm the new
Rod.
guy.
Okay, so the motion for Scotty was not seconded. You're going to nominate Rod?
I nominate Rod.
Okay, I would second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the appointments for 2026. So the road supervisor, do we have a motion to who would be the road supervisor? And then, of course, that would follow by the assistant road supervisors.
I could take that again if they allow you want.
I'll second that.
Can you make a motion for yourself?
No, I don't think so.
Can you? Okay. So Scotty made the motion and Rodney seconded. All those in favor say, or is there any discussion at all?
I don't know if he can make a motion for himself. Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or
Can he? Okay. All right. Well, just so
Yeah.
yeah, Ryan's not yours.
Brian is not here, but Brian is here, and I'm gonna go with Brian on this one.
Okay.
And if it's wrong, I'm sure Ryan will tell us.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian. So there's been a motion by Scotty for himself, seconded by Rod. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. The assistant road supervisors, now I know in times past, that's just been the other two of us.
But,
I'm saying the assistant road supervisors.
yeah,
We have a motion,
it's,
but you would have, someone would
Is
have
that
to make
position
that
actually
motion.
filled? Is it on the roster?
It's just assistant road supervisor, so
yeah, it's, the assistant, takes over if I'm not around, but we're all basically in charge.
So that needs appointed?
Yeah, I appoint Rod for assistant road supervisor.
okay. I would second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I'm just gonna get on. It's just a, I don't wanna say technicality, but okay, for the police supervisor, do we have any discussion or
Who's doing it now?
me?
Well, I moved to retain Dana as the police supervisor.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second for me to be the police supervisor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Assistant police supervisors. Again, I'll just say in times past, it's been the other two supervisors, so.
Rod, you want to be assistant?
I'll move to make you assistant. I
Okay.
mean, it sounds like it's by committee anyway, right?
Okay. Okay, so next, well, I guess we need to did we make a motion on that? I'm all confused now. Assistant police supervisors, did we have a motion on that?
I
Motion,
moved to
but
make
we
Scotty
didn't
the
do
assistant
the-
police supervisor.
we didn't actually do the roll call. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so all those in favor of Scotty being the assistant police supervisor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Recommended wages for the supervisors working in any capacity allowed by the second-class township code would get the road labor rate of $23.35.
And that's just voted on tomorrow at the auditor meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna read some of these and some of them I may stop. So maybe read a group and then we can make a motion on sections. I know that's harder for you, Shannon, but
It's okay.
so again, recommended wages for the supervisors working in any capacity allowed by the second-class township code, that would be $23.35. Setting the meetings, that I am suggesting the first Monday of the month at 6 p.m. I did talk to Ryan to see if he was available. I know we used to have our meetings on Monday, but when we moved the time to later in the day, it was a problem. So I'm not sure if that would be good for anybody
Is it the
else.
first Monday or
The first Monday.
the planning commission meets the first Wednesday?
Yeah, that's the only thing it might
I would think that we'd want to
be after.
maybe do the second Monday.
Yeah.
If Mondays are good for you.
It just, well, no, it's the first Monday that is good for him.
Okay.
I did talk to him.
Whatever you guys
Yeah.
want to do, if that's what you want to, I just know like the planning commission will meet and then
Yeah, that's
the
2 days before the
subdivision,
planning
then they'll
commission.
have to, if they would have to come back to a following month, then they wouldn't be able to get approved. So it would be kind of backwards.
Yeah. But that's the meeting date that we had prior to us
Second.
switching.
We had the
Second.
second.
Second, oh, he said the first. I wonder if he said the first. I wonder if he's,
No, we had second.
I think it's 6 o'clock. He's got another different meeting or something.
he said he was free the first Monday at 6.
Well, if we leave it temporary, the second
We can,
Thursday now, we can come
We
back
can
and change
change it.
that after
Mhm.
speaking with Ryan.
okay,
I just don't think it's a good idea to have the supervisors meeting
Thursday.
prior to the planning
you're right.
Yeah, plan.
commission
Yeah,
meeting.
prior to it.
Okay. So who may attend the state convention and choose the voting delegate? So right now we have it as the supervisors, the secretary, the roadmaster, the road crew, and a solicitor. I don't think it's a good idea to have the entire road crew go. That's my opinion. I know they haven't for many years, but I would think the roadmaster, it would be beneficial for him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What do
Good.
you think? Okay, the Council of Governments representative.
Did you guys want to appoint a voting delegate? I didn't know if you were going.
I'm not sure. We can do that at a later date, right?
I have to send it in, but we probably could do it later. That's
Yeah.
fine. I have to send it in with our invoice.
Are we under contract to keep the same solicitor or can we replace him?
He's on here for them to make a motion.
Okay, the Council of Government representative, prior to this year, it has been Steve.
What day do they meet and where?
Thursday, I think at Beaver. It's usually later in the evening.
I'd be interested in doing that if you guys would
Okay,
like to nominate me.
Yeah, I nominate Rod for that position.
and we don't need an alternate or anything with
We don't
that.
have to. No.
It's open to the public regardless,
Yeah.
that meeting.
Okay.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce, board representative. Do we really need to have a representative on there?
We've always had one just to contact, but I usually contact them myself. So
Do you want to be our board representative?
I mean, that's fine. I'll just put secretary.
I know we don't go to the meetings.
No.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are you good with that? Do you?
Rod might.
I'm good with that.
Okay, set the depositories for West Banco and Pliget. Appoint the secretary wage, Shannon Slosser, at a 3% increase. So that is where I want to stop it. So if there's a motion to follow those appointments that I just read.
I move to approve the appointments that Dana just went through on this list.
Okay,
Second.
okay. All those in favor, is there any discussion? No. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, next is the appointment of the assistant secretary with a wage increase of 3%.
I move to retain the current assistant secretary
Okay,
at a current wage of 3% increase.
okay,
Second.
What, you said assistant secretary or the secretary?
We're the assistant secretary.
it says on here assistant secretary.
Oh, okay.
That's what's
Sorry,
on
I
our
didn't get it. I didn't grab a cup.
agenda, I'm sorry. And last time you abstained from this, you're voting?
Yeah, I can abstain from it, but
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
just asking,
yeah, I'm voting on it.
okay? Okay, so we have a first by Rod, a second by Scotty, for the appointment of the assistant secretary, which the name. She don't have her name on here.
Addison Wright.
Addison Wright.
Okay.
Two Ds, I'm assuming.
Thank you.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm opposed, and I think that Scotty should have abstained from voting. Setting the treasurer's bond at $1,500,000. Next is appoint the tax collection for the streetlights, the fire hydrant, the fire protection, which would be Kristen Koloski. Next, Berkheimer would be doing our local services tax. Our earned income tax would be collected by Berkheimer. The delinquent street light, fire hydrant, and fire protection would be Sharp Collections. The solicitor would be Ryan Long. The engineer would be Frank Taylor Engineering. The janitor would be Mike Boots, and Mike Boots is the only one that didn't ask for an increase.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
ask for one.
Thank you, Mike Boots. That's $71.76 a week that he gets. The sewage enforcement officer, we have a primary of Patrick West. What happened to Doug Duncan?
Doug had some emergency issues. He's not able to fulfill the position. Patrick was our alternate this year, and Doug recommended him as the
Okay.
primary.
Okay. For the building inspection agency, it's Richardson Inspection Services. Next, the alternate building inspection agency is MDIA, and the code and zoning enforcement officer is Eric Bach. Do I have a motion to accept all those as read?
I make a motion to accept all of them as read.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay, so we have a first and a second to accept all those appointments as read. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is moving on to our police department and our road department. For our police chief, it's Douglas Miller. Full-time police officers is Daniel Frederick, Michael Knupfer, Matthew Straub. For part-time patrolmen, we have William Dolphin, Benjamin Fenchak, Dalton Janicki, Zane Kish, Samuel Kachowski, Tanner Levens, Terry Lucas, and Jason Woods. For roadmaster, we have Bronson Clyde, and for the road department employees, we have the operator Carl Zilka, and the assistant operators Michael Brosnasich and Dan Nye. Do we have a motion to accept those as read?
I make a motion to accept them as read.
I will second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. You're an aye. You're an aye.
Aye.
Zoning hearing board, we got Kurt Peffer. The municipal authority is David Costoza. The authority meeting pay is $75 per meeting. For the emergency management coordinator, I have Justin Rogan. For the assistant emergency management coordinator, I have Alan Martino. For the vacancy board chairman, I have Tim Candido is listed. For the right to know officer, we have,
Can we vote on these?
yeah, I can just stop at the assistant
Yeah.
emergency management coordinator. Can I have a motion on those ones that I read?
I move to approve those appointments as read by
Okay.
Ms. Baker.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the vacancy board chairman, which we can take nominations for this.
Yeah, I would like to make a change here. I want to nominate Eric Clyde
Okay,
as the alternate,
all right. So,
otherwise known as the vacancy board chairman.
yes. So we have a motion for the vacancy board chairman for Eric Clyde. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Rod made the motion for Eric Clyde to be our vacancy board chairman, seconded by Scotty Wright. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right to know officer would be Shannon. The agricultural security committee would be Jim Spiker, Chris Fisher, Carl Sakasi, Scott Wright, and Robert Kettler. For the fire department officers, we have Chief Steve Bailey, Assistant Chief Alan Martino, the President Nick Blobner, Vice President John Battaglia, the Treasurer Andy Schaefer, Secretary Christina Bailey. Then the mileage rate at 7.25 cents per mile, and again, a motion to accept the appointments as read.
I move to accept the appointments
Okay,
and the list is read aloud.
thank you.
Second.
Oh, Brian has a question.
Go ahead.
The mileage rate, is that the GSA rate?
That's the IRS rate. What is the GSA rate?
GSA is usually the government services administration rate. And that's what the IRS uses as their, for their calculation. They refer back to the GSA sets the rate, and then usually the IRS picks it up.
Well, it just says the IRS rate for 72.5, which would be for 2026. I know Shannon, you put this on here. I'm not sure. I've never heard of the GSA rate. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Too many years in government.
Okay. So also, we don't have anybody on the planning commission on here for reappointment. I thought if David Anarumo was up.
I didn't think anybody was up for the way everything was flowing, at least
Okay.
by my, what I have right
Okay.
now, so.
All right. Is there any comments at all from the public? So I would make, or take a motion, to adjourn the organizational meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Let's see what time it is. Okay, it's 6:06. So we will go right into the agenda of our regular meeting. And again, this meeting is being recorded, just a reminder. We've already done the invocation and the salute to the flag. Are there any visitors that would like to speak? Go ahead.
I have a question about the fire department, so I'm not sure if there's anybody here that can answer this question for you.
There isn't anybody here, but if you want to give us your question, if we don't have an
Is
answer.
there another meeting coming up where they will be here? I'm looking for answers.
If we could get your name and phone number and have the chief maybe reach out to you, would that be okay?
Well, how about if I say it and then they can get back to me?
Okay.
I can talk about it now. I'm concerned about the fire that we had on Christmas Day. I live on Cornbell Road. Right across the street from my house is a fire hydrant. It took them 10 minutes to put the hose on the hydrant. I wanna know, and there's 10 minutes is ridiculous, and it would have made a lot of difference in that house, which was close to my house, okay? It shouldn't take 10 minutes to stick a hose on a fire hydrant. And I stood there and watched the whole thing, so I know it took 10 minutes. So I wanna know what the problem was. I don't want it to be my house the next time and have my house gone because of something that happened that shouldn't have happened.
Was the hydrant available, open, nothing
Yes.
blocking it, snow?
Right, it was open. The first guy that walked down, there was two guys that walked down to it, and one started going back to the trunk, and the second guy, I think he was yelling for, I guess, a different wrench or something. All I heard was wrench. Okay, so I was happy as fast as people got there. Even one of the firemen came in his own truck and parked on my yard. You know, and I didn't care where they parked on my yard, you know. The thing was that they were there right away. So when the fire truck came up, I thought, thank God, because with the fire hydrant there, we're gonna be able to get water on this house. And then the water was coming out, the hose was there, like on there, but the water wasn't going in the hose, it was going all around the hose. So for them to take 10 minutes to get that to go, would have made a lot less damage.
Yeah, and what is your name, ma'am?
Cheryl Gross.
Okay, can we, when the meeting's over, get your
Yes.
phone number so we can give it to the chief and have him reach out to you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, I'd like to follow up from the meeting in November, since I missed the one in December. You were supposed to get with the solicitor on the property on 733 Marion Avenue.
Our solicitor was going to get with the engineer about that. We have not received any update or information about it. I will reach out to him and see what they determined. Again, I think, I know from our discussion, it seemed to be the cheapest route, I think, was
Yeah, I don't know.
to give the road back. Yeah, so
I
we'll
didn't
get
see
the,
anything in the minutes, so that's why I'm here today, just follow up.
we will have to get the recommendations from the engineer and we'll get back to you. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so now we have, we need approval of our minutes from December 11th, the monthly meeting minutes, and December 26th, special meeting minutes. Rodney was
I'll have
not
to
here.
abstain, right?
I make a motion. I make a motion to accept the minutes from the December 11th monthly meeting and the December 26th special meeting.
Okay, I would second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, we do have a few correspondence to go over. We have a correspondence about the River Road water line replacement. It's River Road, you know, down there in Perry Township and Franklin Township. It just says a water line replacement. Next, we have, we received an email from Frank Sassaman about the property maintenance. I did finally talk to him the other day. He has made some very good points. And even though we have went through this thing time and time again, there is something that he pointed out that it's just important that we review it and I think talk to Ryan. So again, if there's anything that we're doing, whether it's an ordinance or anything else, you can email the supervisors and it will come to all three of us for consideration. I know Frank could not be here at this meeting. Next, we have notification from PA American Water, and it is about a water line replacement on Mercer Road along the Conneconnessen Creek in Franklin Township, of course, and North Quickly Township. This says the removal and replacement of existing water lines, replacement of the water line laterals, pavement restoration, and roadway surface, and all other things as necessary. It doesn't necessarily say, unless I missed it, when it's going to start, but
That notification, if it's an Act 14 notification, that's the notification that someone has applied for the permits.
okay.
And therefore there's a 45-day comment period associated with those permit applications. So the public can comment on those applications if they want to, within that 45-day time
This, it says it's a general permit registration.
frame. Yeah,
It
they
is
would
that-
send
it is
the-
Act
they would send
14.
the
Yeah.
application along with the notification letter.
So do we post this anywhere, Shannon, at all? The only notification then is our meeting?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's normally it's in correspondence.
Okay.
And then, if anything needs to be, responded back to, then that's when he would let me know, and then I would send it back to,
Yeah.
the engineer.
it does say, please identify any land use concerns or issues associated with the proposed project, if there are any, so. Next, we have a letter or an email that we all received from Brian McConnell, who just was talking. He sent a letter expressing his interest to serve his community here in Franklin Township to any appointed board, committee, or administrative function that he might qualify for in the 2026 calendar year. Brian did send his resume along with it. It's 3 pages, and it is it's an impressive resume, and it pertains mostly to
Outstanding.
local government. And I know I've reached out to Brian for different things and information concerning our township. So thank you for sending this. We appreciate this. I know I appreciate it.
I have a question about this volunteerism, particularly on this planning commission board. There's 5 members.
Mhm.
I think they're all very good. But I've noticed when I come here that some of these projects come to the supervisors and they're not what I call shovel ready. Like it seems like we're going way too fast. And in my opinion, I think the next 10 years in this township are pivotal what this place is going to look like. And I think we ought to be very, very careful and cautious on how we grow. I guess my question is, can we expand the planning commission to have more sets with guys that have experience with DEP and government and have been through these building wars, you know, in Washington County,
Yes.
and
And
have
we,
seen it firsthand what can happen.
You can expand up to 9.
yeah,
I think we owe it to ourselves and our posterity to just, it's coming.
it is. And Shannon was able to add that to the end of our agenda to advertise, to amend it from 5-member board to a 7-member board. So we will get to that, but you're right. We need more people looking at these different projects that are coming forward. Okay, next is the LSA grant notification. Franklin Township was awarded $300,000 for the Herp Manor, or to go towards the Herp Manor acquisition. I have to say that Shannon is the one that completed this application on her own. So thank you, Shannon. I know you've tried and tried again for this, and your persistence paid off. This $300,000, and again, we have to thank State Rep Roman Kozak and of course Senator Elder Vogel for their help in this. But this statewide local share account funding is generated, I had to write this down, by the PA Horse Development and Gaming Act, which distributes the revenue from that. And we are fortunate enough to receive a large chunk of the money that we need to purchase Herp Manor. Next, we have, let's see here, nothing from the Planning Commission.
I have a question. Where's the rest of the money come from?
We have more grants out there we're waiting on.
What do they
That's
want
just
for it?
For, let me see, I have it written down.
7,400.
For 7,400. So we need approximately another $170,000.
And what's it really, what's wrong with the state owning this, or they want rid of it? They just want rid of it.
It's just, in my mind, it comes down to us owning it, or let's say Jackson Township, or another nonprofit. We don't receive any revenue from it now, and no matter who gets it, we are still responsible for policing of it, the fire department part of it, the public safety. And it would just be a future.
Could they sell for development or no? The state? No?
It's all mostly conservation, or yeah, it's all mostly a conservation area, but they could, because
They sold part of it to the airport for the airport expansion.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can sell it to
For
whoever
how-
they want to. If they, yeah, I mean, it's in the township, has it as zoned as a conservation.
Right.
But, you know, that's not to say somebody couldn't purchase it,
Right.
come back in here and with a proposal to change that zoning.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, then you're fighting the battle, so.
We're not eligible for the timber or if there's gas there, we
No.
can't have the mineral rights as well.
No.
Nope,
Not a
the
possible-
state gets all that.
So again, those rights would stay with the Fish and Boat Commission, and any money that they would get in the future from that is still gonna go back into Pennsylvania. Not just going to.
How many acres is there?
400 and some.
I don't have the exact number here. I'm sorry, I just have the purchase price.
It's like I think it's right under 400.
Yeah. I wanna say
Yeah,
389.
it's right around 400 acres.
So what happens if you don't get more grants? What's your plan to come up with the money?
Extend the contract and apply for more grants.
And you keep applying and they keep denying, then what's the outcome? What's
Well,
the end?
we're just hopeful that that won't happen. I'm hopeful that we can get the grant money to purchase it.
The grant that you did receive, how, does it have a use by date on it, or?
Do you, I
I
know you
didn't-
sent
I
it, but
don't-
I didn't read it.
Yeah, I don't have everything yet.
Yeah.
We just got the signature
Yesterday.
email stuff
You'd
yesterday.
almost, you'd think the state would almost take it just to keep it apart, take whatever we had to give to them,
Mhm.
just to keep it the way it is.
Well, again, we did ask, I know Steve had asked, why we couldn't just get it for $1 or free, but again, it's
For them to
Fish
get
and
rid
Boat
of it.
Commission, or is the money, I mean, it's their money that they use to maintain that and have it.
You do realize that when they leased it for oil and gas, what was it? 7, 8, 10 years ago, maybe?
Mhm.
I forget when we were doing that. They got over $1 million in lease bonus
Upfront
money.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they received. Now, they didn't lease with the folks here, they leased it with the stuff that went out of Butler County with the airport and all that other stuff. So I don't know if that lease is still in force or if it's current or not. But might want to remind them that, and plus, since that has happened, you've also got a new commissioner in there for the Fish and Boat Commission. John Arway retired in the middle of all this stuff as this transpired. So it may be a good idea to go back and ask and maybe renegotiate that sales agreement to see whether or not
They would go
some
for
of
less.
these things can, because, it's in a conservation area and they're reserving the timber rights.
Mhm.
That kind of, flies in the face, and it's a slap in the face to the members of this community, given that the Fish Commission in the first place got it for free.
Mhm.
It was donated to them from the mining company that had it down there.
Well, the airport cuts down all the timber anyhow. so
Well,
you really need
well,
timber.
that's an FAA regulation, but still, there's nothing, how are you supposed to maintain the property if you can't make any revenue from it? And that's the idea of owning property, is so that you can turn around and generate a revenue source from it. And if they take the oil and gas rights and they take all that stuff away from you, then it's the burden that you're accepting.
Mhm.
And that's unfair, especially from a state agency trying to help out, going to do something for another government agency, a local government agency. They should be more supportive, and they've got money.
Mhm.
I agree with you on that. They ought to take what they got.
They already got a profit, a big profit. It was several $1 million that they got. And when I asked John Ordway about it at a meeting one time, he told me, well, you're not going to get that property by having a bake sale. He could kiss my ever-loving, and I'm glad he retired, and I applauded the day that he did, because that man had no business. I mean, he sat there and argued about the oil and gas program industry and fought against it, and then he took their money, without any qualms. So, he was pretty two-faced in his practices, but that belongs to this community. The entire property, not parceled out in some fashion where that you get all the burden and none of the benefit. And that should be, that agreement should be re-looked at. And being you got new management at the Fish and Boat Commission, and I think you should talk to the state legislators and state senator that represents us here and represents that property, because it falls into two different, with the airport, it ends up falling into two different legislative districts. So therefore, those folks need to step up too, and they need to put a little pressure on the Fish and Boat Commission. Maybe they don't get all the benefits in their budget the next time they ask for it from these representatives that we have here. Be about the
No,
soapbox.
thank you.
No, I agree. I believe that I believe that they should be able to kick in some money, be from the gas wells that they have. You claim they got over $1 million. They should be able to accept the $300,000 that we offer them, and maybe give us a slice of that pie, some way to at least fund, our patrolling of it, or taking care of it in the winter, the maintenance, if people are gonna walk the paths, they have to be maintained, so where's that money coming from? I think if they would renegotiate and let us keep it for the $300,000, they should at least give us a piece of that oil, somewhat, because what's the use of having property if you can't claim what's underneath it as well? That's just my opinion.
No, that's fine. I appreciate your opinion. Oh. Okay, moving on. I don't even know where we're at right now. Okay, Planning Commission. Let's go back there. Nothing from the Planning Commission, correct?
No, and they're canceling their meeting this Wednesday, so.
Okay. We did receive the Municipal Authority meeting minutes. Nothing from nothing from Frank Taylor from the engineers?
No.
Okay. Nothing from Ryan, our solicitor. The zoning and building report. We have two fire alarm system permits for Vector Security down at the Zillionople Airport, and a roof mounted solar on Wiley Street. Nothing from the chamber or the Beaver County COG. Did we get a report from the fire department? Nothing from them. Nothing from our EMA.
No.
Chief Miller, do you have
Comes
a
to me.
report for us?
That's it. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone as well. Here's my report. December was a little bit of a slower month for us, which is good. A lot of snow. We patrolled 3,197 miles. We had a total of 149 calls. I have, like I said, as always, a copy of our UCR reports here with all the different calls we have answered. I'll leave that up there for everybody. The only thing of significance is we hired another part-time officer, Zane Kish. He's a younger man who just graduated the academy December 12th, and he's in our field training officer program right now. And so far, so good. That's it for the month of December. Nice and quiet.
Yeah. Good.
Collect any fence money?
Pardon me?
Did you collect any fence money?
I was going to ask you the same question.
No, I didn't.
Is that a negative? Okay, well,
I'm gonna get in one.
he'll be going to jail, that's all.
Too cold for everybody to be out.
Mm-hmm. We like that.
Okay, and we don't have a road report. So next, moving on, we have quite a few resolutions here to go through, and I will highlight I guess the most important parts on them. So first is a resolution 1-2026. This is basically to impose the real estate property tax of 0.21 mils for the purpose of making contributions to the Franklin Township Volunteer Fire Department for the tax year 2026. This tax is for the purpose of making appropriations to the fire department, and these funds are solely used for the purpose of purchasing and maintaining a fire apparatus and the fire fighting equipment. And this has not changed. I don't know the changes have been here. I'm not even sure, but it has not changed. Okay, it's been many years. So it's the same. So do we have a motion for resolution 1-2026 for the fire protection tax?
Make a motion to accept resolution 1-2026 for fire protection tax.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Next is resolution 2-2026. This is authorizing our bills to be paid interim to the meetings, and this basically gives Shannon the ability to go ahead and pay things like paychecks for salaries, discounts for prompt payments, and things like that. So do I have a motion for resolution 2-2026?
I move to accept resolution 2-2026, authorizing bills to be paid.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so is there any discussion? I have a first and a second on resolution 2-2026. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is resolution 3-2026. This basically gives Shannon the authorization to dispose of records, different public records, and this has been in adoption since 2010. So this is nothing new either, but each year it needs to be the resolution needs to be made. So do I have a motion for resolution 3-2026?
I move to accept resolution 3-2026.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next is resolution 4-2026, and this basically waives the employee contribution for the police pension plan. And again, I think this has been this way each year forever. I don't want to say forever, but
Yeah, it's always been waived,
Always been
but
waived.
they could pay up to 5%.
okay, thank you. So do I have a motion on resolution 4-2026?
I'll make a motion on resolution 4-2026.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on resolution 4-2026. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is the resolution 5-2026, and this is basically appointing Turnley Roberts and Associates for our audit.
I move to accept resolution 5-2026.
Second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye, and that's for
Aye.
resolution 5-2026. I'm getting ahead of myself. Next is our fee schedule. And this is resolution 6-2026. And Shannon, I've asked this before, the commercial zoning or building permit fees, 15 cents a square foot, not to exceed $1,000. What? And then the residential is not to exceed $500. And I know this is not for us to make money, but do we have to cap that at 1,000?
It's normally done that way at different townships, but I mean, it could get pretty costly, for larger buildings in commercial. And that's just the zoning. So Richardson would also have his additional fee on top of that. So.
Okay. I don't know, moving into next year that we maybe can discuss that more.
You can definitely discuss it more and I can research it if there's, I mean, it's usually around there, but I can look into it. It was 500 and it was a lot, 10 cents a square foot when we changed it a few years ago. So
Is it always money in and money, I know it's not money in and money out, but like for the building permits, like
usually it's like how much cost you have involved in it, administrative, zoning, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And does that fee also cover the inspections during the construction, like, you know, looking at the footers, looking at
That-
the roof?
No, that would be through Richardson inspection. That's separate.
Yeah. You want this, Brian? I know you do.
I did add accessory solar energy systems for zoning, and then also principal on there, just to cover it, because some of the roof ones we weren't getting a lot of money for, so I put it to 50. I don't know if you want to change it to more than that. It's a quick review for our ordinance for zoning, and then Jeff Richardson does the major part of it.
I mean, all the roof mounted ones are all residential anyways, and they're already residents within a township. I don't know that burdening them with more than that $50 is necessarily worth it when, I mean, that's my feeling. I'm not sure what.
No, I agree if it's easy.
It just covers Eric's expense. It's a quick review.
Okay.
And then the principal one would be anything larger. It's $750 plus additional for Bill, be the stormwater, any kind of designs that he would have to review, any engineering reviews, they would have to pay all those fees too. So.
Okay. All right. Well, do I have a motion for resolution 6-2026?
I make a motion on resolution 6-2026.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion, I should say? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, we have a motion on the property maintenance ordinance amendment. This has been, how much does it cost for us to advertise?
It's about a little under 500.
So I know what Frank brought up. There is a section in here that's, I think it's wrong, and I'm not 100% sure, but
Yeah, he doesn't like the definitions.
I don't know if we can possibly with Ryan here at our next meeting, if we could maybe see about changing something in the meeting without having to go back to the drawing board. Did you read Frank's?
Yeah, I read part of it. The only thing I can say is I don't care how many times you read it over, you're going to find something wrong with it. And somebody's always going to find something wrong with it. So we're going to be changing it constantly.
No, this is something, you know, what he said about the weeds is, I think he made a very good point. And I think that I think we somehow missed a sentence that's supposed to go on there with the setbacks for the weeds. But we will have to discuss this. I'll make a motion to table this.
Second.
So, is there any more discussion? Nope. So we have a motion and a second to table this, and I'm hopeful that with Ryan time, maybe we can go through it and get it done without having to re-advertise. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next is the motion on the junkyard ordinance, junkyard and refuse ordinance amendment.
What's it say?
So many things. We already have an ordinance for the junkyard. Like, I don't know how many years it's been there, but the issue is there's a junkyard down next to First Student, and they apply. Well, I shouldn't say it. It's a towing facility. I guess that's probably the word I should use. It's a towing facility that applied for the junkyard permit, salvage permit, but he doesn't meet the setbacks in our current ordinance, so we couldn't approve it. So we were amending the junkyard ordinance, or revising it, because the setbacks were pretty restrictive. And it wasn't just to make them so less restrictive just to fit him, but everything that he's doing down there seems to be adequate. Bryn Brothers Towing. So it was the setbacks and such, it was changed, and other things, screening, a bond. I don't have all my notes here, but we asked for a bond for the junkyard. We asked for, we have a better definition of screening. The offset, I want to say, I can't remember if it was was it 1,000 feet? Is that
It was 100.
100 feet? Okay.
I got a lot of junk, so I just wanna make.
Yeah, basically, I think a road was affecting him that was not even used. So.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're in under a different category.
So in order for, again, this was just another ordinance, I think, that was pretty outdated. In order to bring it up to speed, we did go through it through multiple work sessions. And we just need it's been advertised. We need a motion to accept the amendment.
Yeah, I move to accept the motion on the junkyard refuse ordinance amendment.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second on the junkyard and refuse ordinance amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next, this is the motion to advertise for our planning commission ordinance amendment, and this is basically our, like we had said before, our planning commission right now consists of 5 people. We want to, asking to increase it to 7 members, and by law it can only be 9. None of our planning commission is paid at this point in time. I think having a few more people with input and a more diverse, maybe from our community, to give input on the future of our township, the better off we would be. So this would just basically give us a motion that we can advertise this amendment, and that would be advertising it, and then we would vote on it at our next meeting.
Yeah, I'm all for this. The township voted down the expansion of the supervisory board from the 3 members it has to 5. I just think we get some more expertise looking at this. It can do nothing but help. Stuff comes to us shovel ready, so we can make better decisions.
So our planning commission board is an advisory board, and they're the ones that give the recommendations to the supervisors. And again, the more input we have, the better, and all the points that you had made before makes a difference. So
one of the suggestions that I would have with all your boards and commissions and things like that is that the chairman of those boards and commissions show up here at the township meetings on a monthly basis and give the report of their meetings or what have you, or the course of business, even if it's a special meeting that they have, rather than it getting issued to you 3 on a piece of paper, and not the rest of the rest of us here don't always get to see what you see in your packets, and so we're at a loss a lot of times, as to what actually happened. And if you go to the planning commission meetings, you know, I'm not sure what's being presented to you was the same as what actually happened in the meeting or what discussions occurred in the meetings. And I attended a number of the planning commission meetings, as you know. But I think it would be, you know, the sanitary authority. One of the things you didn't cover in your reorganization, and I meant to make a point of it, was you know, with the acquisition of Herp Manor at some point in time, is a Parks and Recreation Board.
Mhm.
You know, you have the park up here, and for right now, it's doing a fine job at getting things organized and make things happening and doing the maintenance on that small park. But as the township grows, you know, people are going to want to do community events and things like that, and you know, rent out pavilions, and it's going to be quite the burden. So to appoint a Parks and Recreation Board is probably, you know, if I had my crystal ball, it's in your future. You know?
Yeah, we did discuss it just briefly at one of our workshop meetings, but we didn't make it very far because we were going over the different ordinances and got lost in, I think, property maintenance and other things, solar ordinance. But we have discussed it just briefly, and it is something that we do need. So you're right.
That's, you know, I think that would help having those people come and so that they can give the flavor of the discussions at the meetings and things like that, rather than just seeing words on a piece of paper or, you know, a note on a plan set that, you know, we approved this, you know, did you approve it with what conditions, and you know, be specific about it. I think that would be helpful.
It would be. Okay, so.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep. So now, do we have a motion to advertise planning commission ordinance amendment?
I move to advertise an ordinance for amending the Chapter 60 Planning Commission to expand Planning Commission to 7 members.
Okay. We have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, secretary's report. Nothing.
I don't really have much to report on. It's been a short since our last meeting. We did have a blood drive. We still had people come out, surprisingly, on the 30th of December. So, but we are definitely going to have a lot more events this year. So,
Okay, good.
Up with it.
Good. So now we need a vote to pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We do not need an executive session. Do we have any comments at all from the public before we adjourn this meeting? No?
Well, welcome, Rod.
This wasn't a bad one. This is a good one to get your feet wet on.
Thank everybody for coming today. I mean, it's good to have people here and input from everybody. So, is that it? So, I make a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.